So this is the Premier 1 Series 1 World Wrestling Championship belt with the case. Certainly I think that red accents a nice accent for the backdrop, and it has some similarities to actually those who are belt collectors and know about that Andre belt. You will see the similarities, those being those side plates there. 4mm, I was very impressed with that. And let's begin. A Premier Replica World Heavyweight Series 1 belt. This Premier belt is a belt that I really enjoyed, my first heavyweight title belt, and I'm pretty much going to just read off of the specs. Has a lot of similarities and reminds me of the Andre 87 belt that Fandu manufactured. There's your yellow bag. Replica Belts Incorporated, of course, is pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go over the size, thickness of the plates, and I'm pretty much going to read what was advertised to me that got me involved and interested in purchasing. Flip it over here. There's the stamp. Let's see if I can get this puppy out of the bag. Ta-da! There she is. Beautiful. I mean, an absolutely gorgeous belt. Reminds me of some of the other belt I've premiered. There's a gold tip there. There's your snap box. And the only thing that I have criticism about this belt, and it was a little falsely advertised to me. So somebody in my comment section, I really appreciate you getting me right, because I wasn't sure. It was advertised to me that this was a leather belt strap. And as you can see, it looks very similar to the WWE version of their big gold belt with that embroidery and so forth. And that black strap, it's a beautiful belt though. The plating and all, and the etching, deep cuts, all that you would want and like in a replica belt that gives you, you can see, if anybody, I'm going to post up here, but I wish I had an Andre 87 belt, but look at those side plates. Look how similar that is to that. Even the center plate. You can see some similarities there. And this belt is very heavy. I'm going to go into all of that. I was a little shocked with the price I paid for it. I think I paid $250 for this, I believe. And because this sits in my display shelf, so it's actually probably better. You can see a crack and a crease. Like this, I can't recall if this happened when I held the belt or not, but there's a crack and a crease right there that's not good at all. And it is what it is. Like I said, I maybe put this belt on twice. I don't, tinker around or play with it. So as long as it's stationary, it's fine. However, it may be better that it's polyurethane, only because the way I have it displayed in my case, it sits pretty stern and stiff, which is what you want. Because if it was leather, it probably would bend enough to where it wouldn't hold in the holster. What attracted me to buying this belt? It was the plates, the thickness, and so forth. I could be wrong. From what I understand, what makes this belt something that others have utilized is because there's no insignia or licensed markings on this belt, and because of that, this belt can be used for independent whatever, wrestling matches or whatever. This could be a belt, and from what I understand, has been used in some other circuits. Not too sure or descriptive how that goes, but it makes sense, because if you have an untitled licensed belt, then it's in that particular class range of world wrestling champion, then certainly this will be a go-to belt that could be used. The Andre 87 belt is a belt I may still purchase at some point in time, but there'd be no way I could display it in the casing that I have, because the dimensions from top to bottom, bottom to top here are huge. I mean, on the Andre belt, how much more so, I'm not even certain, but this fits perfectly and displays perfectly for how and what I was using it for, as it was in its description. word by word for the most part. So this belt apparently was traded. In great shape is what's stated. Premier Replica Belts Incorporated is proud to announce the brand new World Heavyweight Championship Series 1. Premier Replicas are a whole new breed of belts made from better quality materials, better quality molds, and better quality leather, making this unlike any other replica belt you've ever seen before. This is an adult-sized championship replica wrestling belt in ultra deluxe form. And a curve to achieve the most authentic look and feel. So it's stating that we can certainly see 4mm there. Look at that plate thickness. From the side plates to the top portion, from right to left, this is what we're looking at here. And all things perfect, you know, you have your eagle there, that majestic eagle. It's beautifully done. You have these top bars here that spike, but I like that, those accents there. We have 3 stars to the left, 3 stars to the right. Coming on down, we have a beautiful globe. You get to see those continents there. And this belt is a heavy belt. This is pretty thick. That's what similarities there that you see in that 87 Andre. Another thing I like about this plating here is I like the crown. So apparently this is a signature of theirs, which I really admire. We have a crown that's on each one of these side plates. We have 2 side platings to the right, and then we have a couple over to the left. And you see that also stamped here at the bottom. So take a look at that crown at the bottom there. So that's a nice balance there. Really appreciate that. Look at these beautiful colors. We have Canadian flag. We have the German flag. We have the Mexican flag. And you have this embroidery here that's around each plate that is just fantastic. Beautifully done. Then coming to your center plate, we have some etching designs going on here. Beautiful, just look at that blue and those continents there. Inked very nicely. Black rope there. I'm always a big fan of this here. This was something that was kind of done on the WCW belt. It's like a play with perspective, and with that play it gives it almost a 3-dimensional relief. So this kind of comes right out at you. That's a great design element. Coming down to the center border, wrestling champion here. I really love what they're done here. You have just small elements, not a lot, but that reminds me of also the Fandu Big Gold, how they interlaid and laced a lot of that ornate bordering and design quality that just, you know, gives a more 3-dimensional quality to this plate. Coming around to that crown, I love that crown, very nice touch. That's also accented with these almost flared marks there. Then you have more of this decorative design here, just beautifully done. Over here to the left, you can see the best thing, you know, leather can crack as well, but man, that's a pretty significant split there. But it is what it is. American flag, and then we have your stamp again of the crown. And your British flag, UK. The Italian flag, Italiano. As we go over, we have a snap box there. Nice decorative border. Snap box, decorative design. This border there, I also mentioned, is very similar to the WWE's version. This curve, it says, now this is going by the description, so it says strap. The strap is made of duplex real leather that is very soft and more than flexible than anything produced in the past. It says there is no stitching and features fully tooled snap boxes. Now that's based off a description there. So this is a side look. Let's take a look at this tip here. Two-plated tip, which are curved. Here's your curved plate there, which is very nice. 50 inches in length. Actually 10, I don't know if that's right. It says 10 tall and by 10 wide. There again, I'm going off the description that was given to me, associated with me purchasing this belt, so I'm not making any of this up. Let's flip this puppy over to the right. This is what this black strap is looking like. There are your screws there for both side plates. Center plate. Let's get a look at that stamp. Premier Replica belts. This seems to say Wild Chi. I'm not familiar with that company, but you can see it has a like a bobcat or a cougar or puma of some kind stitched here on the side. Now this, look at this backing here. This really does look like it's leather from the back, but definitely not from the front. And it is kind of supple. It's weird because the back pattern here is actually feels more comfortable than the front. Small there again. I'm not sure how this will fit on a larger waist. It does not give me the waist size. I would have to measure that. Okay, 10 inches, right and left. And actually, wow, that is, well, it's a little shy. It's more like 9.5 from top to bottom. So a little off. This is another discrepancy in the description there, but no big deal. I mean, this is a robust, solid plate. And this is what it looks like on the waist. I got a lot of, I can kind of put my hands here. It's a curved plate, but it's not as prominent or curved as you would have with some of the other newer plates. This is what it looks like. And it's very comfortable. You can see it's nice and reflective. This is holding it up, and nice and heavy. Polyurethane, of course, you're going to get that there. You're not going to have something that's going to, for the most part, bend as much as you would like it to. Easy enough, like any other belt. You can certainly re-leather this, or if you want to go to the next level with it, it's something that you could consider. It's not too small, not too big, solid. I see elements that reminds me of several different belts, which is why I really like this belt. Andre 87 is one, and then also a little bit of the Intercontinental belt. I have a little bit of the Fandu there, maybe not too much, but I like the fact that it has accent qualities and these things that make the belt outstanding and pop within, you know, how it's interchanged in the balance of this embroidered type of decorative interlays, where the plate doesn't have to be stacked. We're looking at one plate here, but yet when you add those qualities, you get that three-dimensional feel, which my mind can't help to go, like if this were a stacked plate. Like if this was a little stacked and you had the globe stack, I mean, wow, what a impression that would be. But some of the belts in my other collection, it is one of my favorites. Of course, Fandu is kind of at the top of the list for me, but this is a good contender too. I think there you have it. That concludes the review of this World Wrestling Championship Replica Ultra Deluxe belt. There again, that's how it's depicted in the description. But I hope you enjoyed the review. And let me know your comments.
You're going to get undertooken. You know why? Because I have something that you guys